did. Diversity of thought to a steakhouse, right? But I wouldn't be a good employee because I'm not aligned with the mission.
Come on, Vivek. Come on, Vivek.
No, come on. The point I'm making is
diversity.
this.
Unhinged Mark Cuban gets bodied by Vivek Ramaswamy in this heated debate. So in this video, we're going to talk about it. Welcome back to the DeVory Darkins Show. I am DeVory Darkins. What I'd like you to do is like, share, and subscribe to this channel so we can get this out to more people just like you and me. So Vivek Ramaswamy has his own podcast called Truth. He has Mark Cuban on where they talk about everything. And one of the last subjects they talk about is DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And as always, Vivek always finds a way to absolutely embarrass people who challenge his way of thinking, because his way of thinking is rooted in reality, rooted in common sense. And I think we're going to get a kick out of this. So without further ado, let's play that video.
Oh, okay, just to make sure we get the view on the table, because it's not the classical disagreement, it's just a slightly different type of disagreement. So let's say your company has a mission, okay? I'll give you a good example, actually. This will be very personal to me. Let's say your mission is that you're a steakhouse, okay, and you want to serve your steakhouse chain, and you want to serve good, high-quality steak to your customers. Like any business, you're going to need different types of diversity to make your business successful. There are certain types of diversity you want, certain types of diversity you don't want. The kinds of diversity you might want people who are good wait staff, you might want people who are good at the cash register, you might have good managers, a good chef, okay. Even the kind of diversity you want, I would add a lot of diversity to the ranks of a steakhouse. I'll tell you why. Because I'm a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian on principle. It's a part of my religious upbringing, but
I'm pescatarian. I'm pescatarian.
Right. So I don't believe in killing animals for culinary pleasure. It just happens to be a family belief of mine, and that I've raised in and that I raise my kids in as well. I respect the right of the steakhouse to go pursue its own mission. I don't think the government should be stopping them from doing it. But even though I would add diversity to the ranks of the steakhouse, I don't think that would necessarily make them better because it doesn't align with their mission.
Okay, so let's pause really quick and really break down what Vivek is talking about. So there's obviously different types of diversity. So it's very important to elaborate on what type of diversity are we talking about. But before we can even get to that point, we need to know, what is the purpose of the company? What would be the purpose of the university? What would be the purpose of this organization, right? And we work from there. When I was life coaching people full time, the step number one is, what is your purpose in life? Why are you here? What are you really passionate about? What are you planning to dedicate your life to? Because if you don't know that answer, it's very hard to figure everything else out after that. Everything else after that kind of depends on that answer. But anyways, so if you think about what he was saying, what is the purpose of a steakhouse? Is the purpose of the steakhouse to be more of a modern day experience where they are catering to all types of people who are vegan, vegetarian, keto, pescatarian? Or is it more the traditional steakhouse that wants to give off a traditional experience, and their mission is to make sure that people who miss that traditional experience when eating a steak, that they can come in and actually scratch that itch? So we have to understand what the purpose is, because that drives the diversity of thought and ideas, not diversity on skin color, okay? And that's what the Democrats and these progressive people have incorrect, is they're leading with skin color. They think there needs to be a diversity of skin color. No, there should be a diversity of ideas as long as they're in line with the purpose of the company. So let's jump back into the video.
So every business has to ask itself what kind of diversity.
Wait. So you're saying because you're vegetarian, how would they add you to the? How would you?
I would add diversity. So my point is, I would add
diversity where?
Intellectual diversity, diversity of thought to a steakhouse, right? But I wouldn't be a good employee because I'm not aligned with the mission.
Come on, Vivek. Come on, Vivek.
No, come on. The point I'm making is
diversity.
This. Different types of businesses need different types of diversity. That's the whole thing.
Of course.
So how could it be that every business sets the same quota or same target based on race or gender, when in fact every business should say, we need this type of diversity, people who have experience in the humanities or math.
They do.
And they already do by focusing on return on equity instead of focusing on actual D, capital D diversity.
They go hand in hand. They go hand in hand, because that CEO, if they can't hit their equity goals, right, their ROE goals, they're getting fired. Right, they're
That's
gone.
So
Just
that's what
like
it comes down to. The ROE goals, the return on equity goal,
Right,
which means there's
right.
a million factors you got to cover. Why do you want one blanket category
It's
of diversity
not
for
one blanket strategy. No CEO would have a clue.
Because it's
No, it doesn't.
It's the same.
You're hoping
race
it
and
does.
gender. Race and gender is what it always comes down to.
Okay, so you guys seen that. And Mark Cuban, like I just said before I played that clip, he's in the camp where they lead with race and gender. Okay? They're leading with race and gender. And Vivek is leading with merit, skills, talent. And are those skills and talents in line with the purpose or mission of the company or organization? Now, let me tell you guys a personal story so you guys can truly understand why DEI is really not a great idea. Now, obviously, before I tell the story, DEI is just a modern day affirmative action. By the way, that's really what it is. And affirmative action was all about making sure that black people got placed in positions. And that's all it really is. And so DEI is just another evolution of this. It's just obviously coined in a different way, packaged in a different way, but same principle. So anyways, personal story is I was in the military for 13 years. I got up to the rank of E7, and then I decided to become an officer. And so I went to the academy, I graduated, and at the graduation, the individual who actually assisted me in becoming an officer, she introduced me to a colonel who was African American. And before she introduced me, she pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, listen, I want you to meet this this colonel. He's African American, and I think it'd be really good that you speak to him because he's really looking to add more black people into his unit. And what they're trying to do is get more representation of black people in this unit in the military." And when she told me, I gave her the deer in the headlights look because I was absolutely taken aback because I had just spent 90 days giving everything I had to graduate this officer candidate school. And the one thing that she came up to tell me was, "Hey, we're looking for more black people because there's not enough black people." Who says that there's not enough black people? Like that's insane. Who's saying that? You know, and so what happens is you get this feeling like, so you guys are going to hand me the position, right? Is this going to be a handout or am I going to be able to earn it? And I'm going to tell you guys this too. I know this from experience and seeing other people. This is the best time to be a black person today because literally you got some people feeling guilty for you by default. A lot of the organizations today really cater to the whole DEI thing. There was a study done in 2022 that showed that corporate organizations, 80% of their hires were black women. So, you know, it just shows you the mindset of these people that are woke. And it also shows you where we're at as a society and that it's not actually helpful. And so I just think it's a crazy radical idea that does more harm than good. I think the intentions are great, but the outcomes are bad. And usually that's what progressive policies are always based on. They always have great intentions, very sympathetic intentions, but the outcomes don't work. The whole thing about progressive policies is it's not rooted in reality or common sense, right? It's rooted in, oh, I feel, sympathy. But that actually doesn't solve the problem. It actually prohibits people or enables people to not become who they truly are destined to be, because there's a difference between earning something and the experience that comes from that versus being handed something. And obviously we're seeing that in the election of this year where one candidate clearly earned the delegates and the other candidate did not. So that's my mindset. What about you? What do you guys think about Mark Cuban embarrassing himself on Vivek's podcast Truth? That obviously Mark is coming from a place of being emotional and sympathetic, and Vivek's coming from the place of being actually rooted in reality and common sense. I want to know what your answers are and more in the comment section below. Thank you for checking out the video today. Stay grateful, stay focused, and stay true. Peace.